you weren't all that thrilled with how the scrimmage went yesterday. What was your message to the guys afterwards?
Be able to fight against momentum. You know, you got to be able to change the momentum back to our side, and we want to run through people. You get a chance to. It's football, so we want to tackle. When we tackle people, we want to knock them backwards. So that's something we're going to put some more emphasis on and focus on this week.
Coach Taggart mentioned how impressed he was with Janarius Robinson, his size and all. Can you talk about the development you've seen with him from the spring through training camp so far?
Absolutely. Coach Snyder does a great job with them, you know, by being a defensive end coach. He not only teaches them defensive end play, but they understand the whole defense, where everybody fits and how everything works. And he's picked up on that and understands it, so it's taking his game to another level. And he's doing a good job for us, working hard.
What can we expect from him this season?
Expect for him to be a dominant football player for us. He has all the tools and all the ability. It's a matter of being consistent with it and doing it each and every day.
When you go up against the Florida State offense, what concerns you as a defensive coordinator?
Well, you don't want to give other teams tips, but we have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball and defense for that matter. And the faster they go, you know, with all that talent coming at you at the same time, it can be tough. It can be tough. So I'll leave it at that.
Right.
I think they're gonna do a great job over there.
We've heard a lot about Keyshawn Helton, the wideout for them. What have you seen from him? I'm trying to stop him.
Extremely hard worker, has great attention to detail, catches the ball, and he plays through the end of the whistle. That's what I see in him. Works extremely hard, great kid, and with guys like that, you can win a lot of ball games.
What makes Levante Taylor so? I mean, he's a little guy, but he seems to match up with bigger bodies, bigger receivers so well.
He's stronger than you think he is. First of all, obviously he's fast, and he has a lot of confidence in himself, and he does take pride in his game getting better, paying attention to the detail, all the little things, the technique things that you need to do. He pays attention to them and tries to work on them daily, which helps his game continue to rise and rise and rise.
Going off Levante, just how has the secondary adjusted to your scheme so far?
I think they've adjusted extremely well. They're doing a good job. You know, we tell them all the time, best players play. And so, and Coach Taggart always talking about keeping a fluid depth chart. And they seeing that that's real. From day to day, we're grading them. And that depth chart will change. So you'll find out who the competitors are. Because if you slip down a little bit, you got a chance to get it back. Doesn't mean it's over. And some guys are taking their games to another level because of it.
Overall, as a group, how have you seen the linebackers come on? There's a lot of inexperience at that position, game inexperience anyway.
Yeah, Coach Woody has done a great job with them, teaching them their reads and trusting in what they see. And so I think those guys have really, really improved. I think some guys are going to be shocked. Some people are going to be shocked on how well they play. Because of how simple we keep it and what they key and what they're looking at has, I think, really helped them to be able to play fast, and they're doing that right now. So pleased with them right now, very pleased.
Coach Taggart said that you had some discussions with the players yesterday. How did that go?
It went good. I don't know if it's discussion, it was more me talking, I guess. But yeah, so it went good.
Have they seen a lot of that out of you so far in camp? Or?
To be honest with you, probably not, because we've been playing pretty well throughout camp, and we want to, play better. And it wasn't all a wash yesterday, don't get me wrong, but there's a standard that they said they want to play at, and that's already been set here at Florida State, and we don't feel like we played to that standard yesterday.
Right.
So that's the deal. So you try to remind them of, this is what you guys said. This is the standard that's been set here. Let's live up to the standard each and every day.
Preparing for Virginia Tech, what do they do that you've seen so far that you think presents a challenge for you guys?
You know, I'm not going to answer that question, right? Come on, man. I'll say this: they're a good football program. They do a good job, and we're going to have to be prepared to play.
Wally dropped, 25 pounds? pretty big commitment from a senior who wants to slide outside. What does it say about that commitment, and what have you seen from him as an edge?
It says a lot. He's doing a really good job, man. Again, Coach Snyder does a great job with the defensive ends. He's really taking the coaching. He's playing really well. Wally's playing really well, doing a good job for us, and really glad that he's here with us. Really.
Besides Brian Burns, who else have you seen kind of step up into a leadership role in that defense?
DeMarcus Christmas was not a very vocal guy. He has stepped up. Obviously, his play is big time. So when he speaks, people listen. All right, so, wow, he never says anything. So he's speaking up. Levante Taylor is trying to step up. A.J. Westbrook is trying to step up. So we got multiple guys that are trying to step up. D-Jack is trying to step up as well. To take on that leadership role, and not only, the leadership role is not just talking about it, it's also being about it, playing well, and doing all the right things off the field. And all those same guys I just mentioned are trying to do that as well.
When you were a grad assistant on that 2003 LSU team, what was your role on that team?
I was a defensive back grad assistant, so I helped out. The defensive back coach was Tim Walton at the time, and obviously Coach Saban is the DB coach wherever he is too. So my role was during the week help what I could with the defensive back coach Tim Walton with the defensive backs, and then when we would go out on the field, work with the younger guys to help develop them to get them better. And then on game day, I charted the plays, and the calls and all that type of stuff, and will give any suggestions that I may have based on what I've seen out there. So that's kind of what I did. When you're GA, you're more of a helper guy and try to figure out, what the coaches, what they want and what they need, and try to do that.
What was that like, a young guy, first college coaching job with Nick Saban as the head coach?
Oh, it was good. Nick and I go back to 1985, so
okay.
He and I go back, man.
Way back to Michigan State.
Way
That's
back
right.
to Michigan State when he was the DB coach, D coordinator. So Nick and I go back to 85. He coached me there for 3 years. He went to the Houston Oilers. I finished up my last 2 years at Michigan State. Get drafted by the Browns. They fired Bud Carson in the middle of the year. Hired Bill Belichick, who hires Nick Saban.
Right.
And so I had Nick twice. Matter of fact, he said, "Why you keep following me? I was here, coach. I was here already. They drafted me here last year." So I was with him twice, and then I did broadcasting with Nick. He and I go back, man.
All right.
Yeah, so that was just another line of something that I did with him. And the last thing I did it wasn't, because I did the minority internship down at the Dolphins.
With him too. Okay.
In 2005 when he was at the Dolphins. Yep. So to answer that question, I guess my experience probably be a lot different than a lot of people's with Nick, because I already had a relationship with him.
Josh Kendo is a guy who's been injured a lot from the time you guys have been here. What have you seen maybe in the last week now that he's on the field?
Right. You see a big, explosive individual, man. So hoping that he can get all the way back healthy and can contribute, because we know that he's a player. He's a very good athlete, a very smart player, tough player. Just got to get him healthy, and once he does, he'll show what he can do.
Is his health, you feel like by Virginia Tech he's close to 100%, or what do you?
That's the hope. Yeah. And that's the hope. I think so. I really do. I think so, and for the rest of the year, for that matter. Yep.
You came from obviously a very good program, a perennial top 15 program at Michigan State. Is it still even different recruiting for Florida State than it was for Michigan State?
Oh yeah, it's different. I mean, and Michigan State's my alma mater, so there is no disrespect there. But Florida State has been one of those teams that have been a brand over the years of producing top talent across the board, and it's in the state of Florida where a lot of good football is played. So a lot of people grew up loving Florida State and want to be a Florida State Seminole. So you get a lot of young men saying that was my dream school. That's my dream school, because if not them, their parents saw how well they played. Florida State has played over the years, and what Coach Bowden has built, and so they grew up big fans of Florida State University, all across the country. Believe it or not, all across the country.
And you talked about how hard it was to leave Michigan State.
Yeah.
How hard was it? And is it one of those decisions where as soon as you make it, you're like, this was the right thing, or is it like second thoughts, third thoughts, fifth thoughts?
Right. Once it was made, I felt comfortable with it, because I knew, I prayed on it and all those type of things, which means a lot to me. And I felt like, I was told this is the move to make. And so I feel I was comfortable. I've been comfortable. And, it was tough because it's my alma mater. I've been there coaching the last 11 years. And, when I'm all in for a place, that's how I am. I'm just all in. And so, I got, a lot of good friends back up there, a lot of great memories as a player and as a coach, former players, all that type of stuff. So, it was tough. It was tough, like leaving home, it's tough.
Coach, I'm sorry to ask this, but with the scrimmage yesterday, Coach said you were able to show your guys a little bit, and offense took a little bit ahead of the defense for the first time. What was that message to the guys to see them, respond and want to see what you're going to see next week?
The message was, this is football, and football is a contact sport, so you want to run through people. You want to see people going backwards as opposed to falling forward on tackles, things like that. Being assignment sound always, and being able to get the momentum and not let it go back. And if you lose it, change it back. Make a play. Somebody step up and make a play. So it was a good message, and our guys will respond because we've had a good camp. And did a little setback yesterday, but they're ready to go. They'll be ready to go this week, I promise you.
Do you think that's going to be a good thing in the long run to be able to get this fire out of them that they maybe had one day that they slipped up?
I do. Because they all want to win. They all want to be good. And that's just talk, obviously. But the standard has been set here prior to us even being here, and we want to live up to that standard. And that's something they said. It's not something we made up for them as coaches. They said they want to live up to the Florida State standard, so we're going to hold them accountable to do that.
Coach, what are some of the biggest challenges that face Willie Taggart offense in these practices?
Tempo. They go super fast, which is awesome. Love it. Don't anticipate facing anybody that's going to go as fast as our offense goes, which really is preparing us for the season when teams are going fast. Man, we see this every day in practice. So that's awesome. And with all the athletes combined with that, that can be a pressure on the defense.
Coach, we've heard a lot about Janaris Robinson, but Sherman, what exactly does that mean?
Probably just getting better as a football player, I guess. We've seen him get better from the spring to the fall. He has a lot of talent, a lot of great ability, and Coach Snyder is getting it out of him. Because Coach Snyder, I think, does a great job of teaching the defensive ends the entire defensive package, not just what they do at defensive end. So they understand how they fit and where they fit and all that kind of stuff in the puzzle of the defense. And he's learning that and picking that up and doing a good job for us.
Do you have an idea for how he'll be used at the beginning of the season?
How Janaris will be used? As a defensive end. He's kind of funny in that he can play both of them for us, the field and the boundary end for us. So that's a good thing. So he's like a little weapon for us, so he can go in at either spot and do a great job.
We continue to ask about Brian, but just what you see from him every day, how special is he, and just the player that he is?
The guy is, he comes to work each and every day. Plays hard, extremely hard, smart, and is a great competitor. That's what I can say about Brian Burns, man. He's a heck of a football player. Glad he's here with us, believe me. And if any indication of his spring and fall camp, spring ball and fall camp, and what kind of season he's going to have a phenomenal season.
Do you think Robert Cooper is a guy that can contribute this year? What have you seen from him so far?
Yeah, strong individual, big fella, as we all know, that does a really good job. Coach Odell does a great job with him. He's learning each and every day and getting better each and every day. So you see him taking steps, getting better, which should allow him to have a chance to possibly play for us this fall.
Do you like him at that weight? Is that a good weight?
We want to be able to get it down. He knows that. Okay. We want to get him down a little bit so he can, play more than a few plays at a time. And he will.
Right.
Coach Odell's been doing this a long time with defensive tackles, and he'll get his weight down to where we would like to see it and where he would like to see it, so he can play at a maximum level.
Heck, it was 30 years ago now, but you played against Florida State, and you played against Deion Sanders. Yeah. What did you think of him when he came to, I guess he came to you guys in '87, and then you didn't make the trip to '88. But what did you think of Deion Sanders?
A good player, man. That whole team was a good
Yeah.
team. Obviously, I mean, Deion was a baller, man. Good football player. I do remember them guys out there talking all kind of cash noise, talking all noise. I remember, and I loved it because how I grew up, you talk noise, I'm gonna talk noise, so we talking noise back. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no cowering down or anything like that. We were Big Ten champs that year, so we had some dudes on our team.